Y'all come here and box me up real quick, probably clip me, then go home.
As a business, I understand. I ain't gonna hate on the decision, but as a man
Your
and
pride
as
will
a
get in the way.
fighter with my integrity.
Jake Paul has brought in Shakur Stevenson as his sparring partner ahead of his highly anticipated clash with Gervonta "Tank" Davis. Aiming to replicate Tank's speed, precision, and ring IQ, Jake chose Shakur to refine his timing, defense, and overall sharpness. With 5 years of professional experience behind him, Jake believes this focused preparation could be the key to victory. Driven by confidence and hunger, he's determined to silence critics and stun the boxing world by knocking out Davis, proving once and for all that he belongs among the sport's elite.
For, like you said, a guy who is shorter than you, how do you find a sparring opponent to replicate something that obviously, there's nobody else out there that's Tank Davis? How do you prepare for a guy that's different stature-wise?
Yeah, no, we have world champions. Raymond Ford in the 130-pound weight class. We got Montana Lovin. Shakur Stevenson is coming in this week. So
Wow.
just scoring against guys on their level and people who have, been doing this their whole entire lives. But we're really focusing on speed and not as much on power. I'm not doing as much like weightlifting and all of that stuff. I'm actually trying to lose some muscle so that I have less weight and so that my punch.
The unexpected alliance between Jake Paul and Shakur Stevenson has taken fans by surprise. Stevenson, celebrated for his calm professionalism and traditional boxing roots, rarely associates with crossover stars like Jake. Yet, this partnership represents a fascinating blend of old-school craftsmanship and modern entertainment culture. While many observers view it as unconventional, both fighters appear to gain from the experience, Jake refining his technique under one of boxing's sharpest minds, and Stevenson reaching a wider, younger audience. Their sparring sessions are said to be intense and disciplined, proving that even unlikely collaborations can foster real growth. Ultimately, their teamwork blurs the boundaries between showmanship and elite training, signaling how boxing continues to evolve with the times.
World and even shock myself and show myself what I'm capable of.
When you picture how it goes down, is there something that you see yourself doing? Do you see yourself knocking him out? Do you imagine being victorious? And what would that mean for you? A guy, again, who has only been in this sport for a couple of years. You've turned it on its head. You've had a massive impact, clearly, in just a few years, but it's only been a few years. That's the bottom line.
No, exactly. This is my 5th year as a pro. And so I've had to progress faster than anyone else in the sport to be able to compete at this level and to be able to hang in there with these guys. But I do believe that I have the power and the offense to be able to walk Tank into a knockout like I've done with other opponents and set them up for it. And so I am fully confident in my ability, and I think it would be one of the craziest upsets in a long time.
Well, one of the craziest upsets ever, probably, in many people's eyes. Well, I think I saw Cardi B just put a $250,000 bet down. It was a parlay, I believe, on Aspen all over Cyril Gahn. But then for Tank to beat you, have you seen that? And what do you think about Cardi B potentially placing a $250,000 bet here?
I didn't know.
I saw it on.
Since the announcement of Jake Paul versus Gervonta Davis, Shakur Stevenson has been open about his perspective. While many assumed his involvement signaled support for Jake, Stevenson clarified his position with nuance. He approached the matchup from 2 angles, business and competition. From a business standpoint, he acknowledged that the fight would generate enormous attention and revenue, aligning with the entertainment-driven direction of modern boxing. Yet, from a purist view, he admitted it strays from the sport's traditional competitive standards. Remaining neutral, Stevenson recognized the promotional value without criticizing Davis's decision to accept the bout. His thoughtful and composed outlook reflects a mature understanding of boxing's evolution, one that balances respect for the sport's roots with acceptance of its changing landscape.
We got some great guys coming in, some really experienced southpaws that are smaller. I think Montana Lowe's is coming in. Shakur Stevenson wants to come in. Jermaine Ortiz, we're going to hit up Erickson, Lugan, some of these guys. So we're just going to bring in a plethora of fighters that are fast.
Boxing commentators have expressed divided opinions on the upcoming Jake Paul versus Gervonta "Tank" Davis showdown. Traditionalists dismiss it as a marketing spectacle that could distract from more legitimate, competitive bouts. Yet, even skeptics acknowledge that events like this attract massive audiences and generate valuable business for the sport. The irony, as many point out, is that while critics condemn the matchup, They also benefit from the buzz it creates, through increased viewership, sponsorships, and media attention. This contradiction highlights how modern boxing operates within a broader entertainment ecosystem, where success depends not only on skill and competition, but also on personality, narrative, and spectacle that captivate fans worldwide.
And it's crazy, but people getting paid off of it.
Yeah.
So if he can call any one of y'all out and y'all can get that payday, I say go get it, baby. I'm not mad at it.
For me, and I'm not. I got no. I'm not mad at this move at all for Tank Davis, but I think when it comes to boxing fans, there's an essence that comes with this sport, and it's an essence that hasn't been lost, unlike other sports. For an example, with football, we come from the hitting days.
Yeah.
Can't hit nowadays. You know what I mean? So boxing hasn't lost its essence. They're trying to make it safer and all those sorts of things, but there's still this pureness to boxing that really doesn't exist in sports anymore, but it's still there with boxing. I think that's why people have such a problem with this kind of move from Tank Davis.
Is it more the heart? How do you guys feel being boxers?
Man, like once you hear the numbers, I'm like they're talking like I don't know the official one. They're talking about 100 mil.
Oh, damn.
They're talking about these insane numbers. Like I'm gonna be like, don't take that. I'm not gonna tell another man not to take that type of check, especially for something like that. It's not on your official record. It's an exhibition. I'm not gonna lie here and act like I'm not gonna say yes to 100 million or something like that. But I do see exactly what you're saying about the essence of boxing.
Mm-hmm.
I wish they would kind of separate a little more because exhibitions have always been a thing. There's always been an argument.
Right.
But they're just selling it like a real fight almost.
Right.
So I think that maybe if we could create a better like distinction, more of a difference,
Right.
there might be less hate on it. But at the end of the day, man, I'm not gonna tell Tank not to take that fight.
And I said this last year. I said create a influencer title and let those guys fight over there in the influencer world. They can live the world in the life of...
Former UFC champion and respected commentator Daniel Cormier offered a candid critique of the Jake Paul vs. Gervonta Tank Davis matchup, describing it as less compelling than the many other fights available for Davis. Cormier argued that Tank has already proven his greatness and has no need to participate in spectacle-driven bouts. Unlike fighters chasing quick paydays, Davis has both financial stability and an established legacy, making this fight feel unnecessary in Cormier's view. His remarks also highlight the split among combat sports veterans regarding crossover events. Some welcome the added exposure, while others see it as a threat to competitive integrity. Ironically, though, Cormier's criticism may only heighten public curiosity, adding even more attention to an already headline-grabbing event.
Stevenson reached out to Jake Paul in support of him preparing for Gervonta Davis. Help me understand, what is the difference between Boots Ennis reaching out to Canelo Alvarez in support of his preparation for Terrence Crawford versus Shakur Stevenson reaching out to Jake Paul in preparation for his fight with Gervonta Davis? Tell me what is the difference. I'll tell you what the difference is. The Ennis family actually had a relationship with Canelo Alvarez. Shakur Stevenson has no relationship with Jake Paul. None. We heard, oh, Boots, sparring partner. How much you got paid for that? So now, isn't that also applicable to Shakur Stevenson? Is he not also a sellout? I don't want to hear anything about this fight. That's because of YouTube, it doesn't matter. No, Shakur Stevenson is an elite level fighter that is going to be a sparring partner to a YouTuber, and he reached out to him directly?
Within boxing circles, a potential showdown between Shakur Stevenson and Gervonta Tank Davis is regarded as the ultimate test of skill and mastery. Both fighters embody elite-level technique, composure, and ring intelligence, qualities that define pure boxing excellence. Their clash would spotlight the sport's essence, timing, precision, defense, and strategy at the highest level. While Jake Paul brings undeniable entertainment value, a Stevenson vs. Davis matchup represents boxing in its most authentic form. This contrast underscores how the sport continues to balance spectacle with substance. The growing anticipation for such a bout reaffirms that true talent and craftsmanship still captivate fans, even amid the noise of celebrity-driven events.
That opportunity, because this is prize fighting, right? It's about making money and securing your family. Can you fault them for that?
It's two sides of that. Like,
Okay.
it just depends. Like, as a fighter, just because I had a draw with somebody, for me, I may run it back. But in a business aspect, if you run it back and you lose to Lamont, and then the Jake Paul fight is presented, you may not make as much money, or the fight may not be as lucrative as it was before you lost. So, as a business, I understand. I ain't gonna hate on the decision, but as a man
Your
and
pride
as
will
a
get in the way.
fighter with my integrity,
Yeah, but isn't there a price for everything, Shakur? Like, even if you had a draw with somebody and you were offered 10 times more than you ever, I don't know what the number is, but it's a lot more than he's ever made. You think you might consider doing the same thing, right?
I would, but you gotta also realize I know that it's not going nowhere. Like the
Right.
fight ain't gonna go nowhere. Like say, cause if I really believe in myself,
Right.
and I wholeheartedly think like if we fight again, I'm gonna win this fight.
That fight still be there around the
After
corner.
I beat this motherfucker, where you at?
Yeah.
Fight still there. It's not gonna go nowhere. But if I have a 50-50 thought
Like a
process
doubt.
where it's like,
Right.
yeah, I got doubt in my brain, I may be like, all right, fuck it.
Also, in
Let's
his
cash
case,
out.
it might be that he's tired of fighting anyway. He's leaning towards retiring.
Yeah, let's
anyway.
cash out.
So he's just gonna get that.
For sure, it's a lot of people that switched over now. Everybody's like, "Oh, I've been telling y'all, Shakur." I know y'all have not. Y'all have been quiet.
They on the bandwagon
Do
now.
you actually, we talked to Virgil Ortiz, right? He told us that he be screenshotting a lot of the hate on Instagram to remember to maybe one day comment on their posts. Do you remember certain comments or posts that bother you?
I remember it, but like I'm not gonna screenshot it. What I do, I kind of like if I see something, I be ready to argue it or go back and forth, but I get up and run.
But
I'm
I'm
like,
talking
fuck it,
about
I'm gonna
Get up
go
and run.
run 3
Oh,
miles. Like,
motivate you.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
I'm
for
talking
sure.
about like somebody that you know in the boxing industry that you respected, that you kind of was disappointed, like, damn, like
Everybody, except for the people that's like right there with me, like the Bud Crawford. He's somebody who kind of stay with me throughout everything, and I think he's one of the realest people in the sport of boxing. But everybody, I feel like everybody just said, fuck
like
Yeah.
commentators, people that host
man,
shows,
people around me started moving different.
like
Everybody,
friends.
everybody,
Really?
everybody.
So you had to cut some people off?
Yeah, yes, I cut people
People
off.
you thought were friends.
Yes.
When you say moving different, what do you mean?
I ain't gonna like go into detail because I ain't gonna need to put everybody on the spot, but a lot of people start looking at me different. You know, social media make people think a certain image or certain things about you. Like people I walk into every day, like, bro, I know you. I've been around you for years. You know me. So if you know me, how you feel as though that you gonna go and look at me different or treat me different than what I was already was. So
Right.
yeah.
Well, what did Turkey say after that win, like on a personal conversation? Did he say anything to you?
Nah, he just said good job. We gonna get you on the next card.